Okay, now let us get into this evidence. This evidence that was shared with me from a team member, and it cost her dearly. Just by sharing this article, this woman got a visitation and she was dragged into another dimension. Good thing I was up 3 a.m. in the morning to take the call, right? Just because she shared this article with me, these entities gave her a visit, right? Now, let us get into this evidence to show you the time and season we're living in, to show you the setup. And you got to ask critical questions and you got to connect the dots. Is this all about equality, or is there a sinister agenda behind the LGBTQ agenda? Right? Let's get into this evidence from the Daily Mail. Date the 3rd of February 2023. Exclusive womb transplant for trans women are very likely in the near future, claim top fertility expert. So here's how world first up would be carried out. No, they want men, biological men, to be able to carry children. So they not only want to chest feed, right, but they want to carry children. And all of this is happening in the West. We don't see men in China want to chest feed and want to carry babies. We don't see that happening in Russia. We don't see that happening in the Middle East. People, you need to ask questions. What is going on? And why is it that the West, the building block of the West, is based on scientific knowledge, right? Why is it that we are putting our energy to go against creation, to go against our God? Why? Let us get into this evidence. Trans women will be able to get a life-changing womb transplant in the near future, leading fertility experts have claimed. The huge scientific breakthrough would give biological male the chance to carry a child, a feat currently impossible. Now, say they give them the womb, right? Because it's not just about the womb, it's about the entire being. Right? When you're pregnant, your body goes through a lot of changes, right? And it's not just physical, it's also spiritual. How will a man's DNA, male DNA, a biological man DNA deals with pregnancy? Right? It is not written in his DNA for him to be pregnant. How do they think they're going to get around that one? Because it's not just physical, it is also spiritual. Right? Let's get into this. Only tiny modification would be needed to make it a reality for men too, according to world-renowned voices in the transplant field. Wombs could come from deceased women and donors who have decided to have their own reproductive organs removed, which it can happen when woman decides to become men. That only accounts for a small percentage. Where will they get the rest of these wombs to give to these men, biological men, who parades around wanting to chest feed and wanting to give birth to children? Where will they get those extra wombs from? Academics behind the claim claimed carried out North America's first womb transplant from a deceased donor, which resulted in the birth of a child. The team from the prestigious Cleveland Clinic in Ohio wrote about the possibility of performing the surgery on a biological man in fertility and sterility. Campaigns argue transgender women would have the same right to carry a child as a woman born female. Right? So they have a right to carry a child. Okay. We'll see what God has to say. We'll see about the spiritual nature. Because you can give them a womb and all the hormones they need to maintain the pregnancy. But pregnancy is not just physical, it is also spiritual. Right? Let's get into a little more. The ultimate goal of giving biological male a womb transplant would be giving them the chance to become pregnant. We don't know at this stage if this would be possible. Only one attempt has been made all the way back in the 1930s and wasn't successful. But fertility treatment has come a long way since. Now we're going to talk about this 1930s trans woman womb transplant at some time. We have some questions to ask, right? The extra wombs that they will need, where will they get it? And how will a biological man's DNA deal with pregnancy? Because it's not wired into his make, right? Is China doing all of this? Is the men around China running around wanting to chest feed? Are they running around wanting to be beauty queen? Are the men in Russia running around wanting to carry children? Only in the West. People ask critical questions, connect the dots, and understand what this is. The days of Noah, Sodom and Gomorrah. This is what this is. This is what it is leading into. And the more you celebrate and the more you accept this, the more you are running the presence of the Most High out of your country, out of your land. And guess what will happen? It will leave you open for enslavement. Because before there is a war, right? Before there is a new power, before Rome take power or take control, Rome had to separate the people from their God. That is how the great Roman Empire survived, how they got their power. A nation that stands beside their God is a nation that you cannot defeat. But when you decide to step away from what is natural, what is God-given, and go against your Creator, guess what is going to happen? Guess what comes next? The decision is all yours. What you choose to do with this information is up to you, right? Imagine we live in a time where men want to carry a baby. A man wants to walk around with an infant stuck to his chest, claiming he's chest feeding. They want to dress up in heels and lipstick and parade around as beauty queens and compete against natural born women. And nobody sees nothing wrong with that. Now, hope you're not going to be in your feelings when the Most High step in. I hope no one will have a problem when he steps in, right? No one should be in their feelings. You all should be eating, drinking, celebrating, jumping around at pride events. No one should have a problem, right? No, we need to seek the face of the Most High while we can. Let us pray and say, glory be to the Most High.